For today's practice, you'll need a block and a strap. If you don't have a block or a strap, you can use a thick book or even a belt or a strap from around a dressing gown. Just pause this video, grab any props that you need before coming back to your mat. We'll get started sitting on your block or your book, so finding a comfortable seat that suits you. And once you've found your comfortable seat, taking a moment to settle into this space. And that might be by acknowledging what you can feel underneath you, the ground, your mat, your clothes. And then coming to the breath, if you'd like, you can take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart. This might help you connect a little more with your breath, really feel it in your body. And if this isn't comfortable, simply leaving the hands down, resting in your lap or on your legs. And with the hands resting wherever they might be, maybe breathing a little deeper into the belly. It might even be helpful to take a bit of a cleansing breath, maybe in through the nose, maybe parting the lips as you exhale, a gentle sigh out the mouth. And then starting to release the hands from the chest and the belly if you had them, resting against your skin. And then reaching for your strap and taking it nice and long, not so much worrying about the loop. Taking it out in front of you and taking it a little wider than your shoulders. And then coming to a shoulder opener here, starting to lift the arms overhead and broadening through the chest. And then the arms can start to travel back down. And using your breath to inhale, lift the arms, maybe the shoulders start to reach a little further back. On your breath out, the hands will come back down. Continuing this movement, and maybe as you go, the shoulders start to open a little more, just taking it to where feels comfortable for you. Being mindful of your joints and maybe what time of the day it is for you. And of course, if it does feel comfortable, to take the arms in one big circle all the way back and around, letting the arms move freely. Taking one more round and then bringing your arms back to the center and giving the head a little rock from side to side, maybe around in a circle. As you come back to the middle, reaching the arms long, a little wider than your shoulders. Once again, as you start to lift the arms overhead, this time taking a little lean over towards the right side and trying to keep the arms as straight as you can. Coming back to the middle, lengthening over to the left. So opening up through the sides of the body here. Once again, over to the right side, back to center, and over to the left. Once more, either side, to the right, and once more to the left. As you come back to the middle, taking the strap down and placing that off to the side of your mat. And then coming off your block, also moving that to the side of your mat, and then making your way over into a tabletop position. Knees can settle underneath the hip, wrists underneath shoulders, moving through a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Maybe breathing in and lowering the belly, opening up the chest. Breathing out, arching the back, tucking the chin in. Breath in opens up, and your breath out, arching away, spreading through the shoulder blades. Taking one more round, and then coming back to center. Then drawing the right knee in towards the nose, arching the back, and then extending that right leg out nice and long. Maybe pointing through the toe. Inhale, knee comes towards the nose. Exhale, leg extends long. One more time, inhale in, and then reaching long on the exhale. Holding here, then looking over your left shoulder. The right toes are going to drop over to the left side. So coming into almost a little three-point position. Then lifting the right arm towards the sky, pressing down through the left hand, through the left knee. A little bit of freedom here. You might start to open up a little through the arm, through the chest. Maybe even make some circles. And then drawing that right arm all the way back down to the mat, keeping that right leg extended nice and long. And then hugging the elbows in, keeping the right leg up high, drawing the chest and chin down to the mat, coming down onto your belly. And then hands stay under shoulders, lifting the chest, pointing the toes, baby cobra. Floating back down to the mat. And then lifting your way back up, coming back to your tabletop position. Other side, left knee draws in towards the nose, arching the back. And exhale, extend that leg nice and long behind you. Breathing in, curling in. Breathing out, reaching long. Last time, curling all the way in. And then as you extend that left leg, this time holding here before taking the gaze over the right shoulder this time, letting the left toes draw over towards that right side. As the left arm begins to peel up towards the sky, opening up through the chest. Your support comes from your right knee, right hand. You get an option to make some circles or any variations with that top arm before bringing it back down. Left leg extends long in the sky as you hug the elbows in, draw yourself down to the mat, onto your belly, lifting to your baby cobra shape. And then making your way back to a child shape. Knees can come wide, big toes touch, arms reaching long. And as you settle back to this shape, just taking a moment to check in with the breath, with how you're feeling. Noticing any sensations that might be coming through the body. And then as you start to lift the head, looking back towards the hands, coming back to a tabletop, and then tucking the toes and coming into your downward facing dog. Hips lifting towards the sky, maybe taking a little bit of movement here through the feet, little pedal of the feet, maybe taking your dog for a little walk. Maybe straightening one leg at a time, feeling into the toes. And then starting to shorten your stance a little here. So bringing your hands back a little towards your feet so that both feet can be flat on the ground. And then keeping the left hand on the ground, lifting up the right hand and scooping it underneath your body to come around to catch hold of your either left ankle or left calf. And your head might turn to look underneath your left arm here. So taking a little twist. Bringing that right hand back, swapping sides, left arm picks up off the mat, scoops around to take hold of the opposite ankle or calf. Letting the head hang heavy. Bringing both hands back and then walking the hands back towards the feet, coming to a forward fold. And then inhaling, lifting for a halfway lift, maybe fingertips come to shins, and folding back down. Lifting once again halfway up and then folding. This time lifting your way all the way up to standing. Arms come wide and high, connecting back at the heart space. And taking a moment here in standing to acknowledge this space before lifting the arms back up through the heart space and swan diving all the way back down to the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. And as you exhale, start to walk your hands all the way out, back to your downward facing dog. From here, lifting your right leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. And then drawing that right knee in towards the nose, curling in. And finding your right foot's way between your hands, however it would like to get there. Lowering down the left knee and sweeping the arms up to your Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And keeping the arms maybe a little wider here. Shoulders are soft. As you inhale, lifting up a little more through the chest. And as you exhale, begin to cactus the arms. Breathing in, arms lift. Breath out, cactus. Doing this once more, lifting and exhale, opening and holding here. Strong through the heart. And then bringing the hands down to frame the front foot. Lifting open through the right hand. Coming to your simple twist. Lowering the right hand back down, framing the front foot, and finding your way back to your high plank shape. Pressing the ground away. And then leaning forward, lower down knees, untuck toes, chest and chin come down to the mat. And lifting your way up either into your baby cobra or maybe an upward facing dog. And finding your way back to your downward facing dog. And taking a breath here before coming to the opposite side, inhaling left leg towards the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee comes to the nose and finding that foot's way between the hands. Lower down right knee, untuck toes, lifting arms to the sky, to your low lunge shape. And settling here for a moment. Before lifting on a breath in a little higher and then exhale, cactus those arms open, strong through the fingers. Breathing in, lifting. Breath out, finding that space. Once more opening and holding in your cactus shape. Before letting the hands return to frame the front foot, simple twist this time to the left, right hand stays down, left arm lifts. And then bringing the left hand down, frame the front foot, coming to your plank shape. And then beginning to lower your way down, knees or no knees. Your choice of back bend, baby cobra or upward facing dog. And then returning back, your downward facing dog. And breath in once again in this space, maybe a cleansing breath out, detoxing the body. And then option here to come into our dolphin shape. So you might start to lower your forearms to the floor, lowering elbows down. And then maybe the feet walk in a little closer towards the arms. And your head might look back towards your feet. This shape can help build a little bit of strength through the arms, a little bit of heat. And then lowering down, landing the knees to the floor. And coming to a child shape, just letting the body rest after that little bit of invigoration, maybe wrapping the arms around you. And taking a moment here once again to just check in with yourself, your breath, your body. This is your yoga practice. And feeling free to stay here as long as you need, or you can start to bring the hands forward, once again lifting up and back into a downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg to the sky on a breath in. And then bringing that knee towards the nose, curling all the way in. This time lifting up and back once again, three-legged dog. Knee comes to the nose. One more time, lifting up and back, three-legged dog. Before curling that knee all the way in, bringing that right foot between the hands, staying up high on the back toes this time, lifting your way up to your high crescent lunge. Maybe a little softness comes into the back knee, softness through the arms. And again, same movement as before, knowing that there's an option to lower the back knee if you would like, but inhaling, lifting the arms a little higher, and exhale, cactus the arm. Breath in, lifting. Exhale, cactus. One last time, lifting and opening on the breath out. And then this time as you lift, begin to spin down the left heel, the back heel, and bending through the front knee, extending the arms parallel to the ground, coming into your warrior two. Maybe the gaze comes out over the front fingertips, and then lowering down the right forearm or right elbow to the right knee, leaning over with the left arm, coming to your extended side angle shape. And then option here to come to a half bind. So the top arm will reach behind you and settle at the lower back, opening a little more through the chest, pressing into the hand, and then starting to lift up through that top arm once again, reaching up and over, taking the gaze down, left hand returns to the floor, right arm opens to the sky, simple twist. Both hands frame the front foot and lifting up and back straight away, three-legged dog. An option here to move through a three-legged flow, lowering down the left knee, right leg still lifted, chest and chin come down, and then moving through your back bend and then up and back to your downward facing dog. And once again, lifting the left leg to the sky, and bending the knee, drawing it towards the nose. Lifting the leg back up, three-legged dog, and drawing knee into the nose. Last time, lifting, reaching, before curling all the way in and finding the foot's way between the hands. Lifting your way up to your high crescent lunge. As you pause for a moment before lifting a little higher. And same movement as before, opening the arms to your cactus shape. Breathing in, lifting. Breathing out, opening. Last time, lifting, broadening through the chest. And then as you straighten the arms, and then spinning down the back heel, opening up to your warrior two shape. Looking out over the left fingertips. And deep bend comes into the front knee as you reach forward with the left elbow, placing it down on your left thigh and reaching over the top with the right arm. Maybe the arm comes around to the back for your half bind, pressing the back of the hand into the lower back. Stretching up and over with that top arm, placing it down on the ground. Opening to your simple twist over to the left side. And then reaching back, three-legged dog. Maybe moving through that three-legged flow. Right knee comes down as left leg stays high, coming down to your belly, your back bend, and then returning to your downward facing dog. And taking a moment here, maybe lifting high on the toes, pressing back down through the heels. Little moment just to reconnect with the earth. And then one last round, lifting the right leg to the sky, drawing knee to the nose, and straight away this time, placing the foot between the hands and then cartwheeling the arms open, coming to your warrior two shape. And there's a bend in the front knee, pressing down through the outer edge of the left foot. And then taking a breath, start to lean the weight forward, flip the front palm, and then reverse your warrior, reaching over the top. Then that top arm is going to circle around the front of your body, once again coming back to that extended side angle shape. So right forearm, right elbow to the right leg, and then left arm reaches over and back. And then this is where you'll be checking in with your strap. So there's the option to stay with that half bind that we were in before. Alternatively, you can reach for your strap and taking the strap into the left hand first and then dropping it down behind you, and then you might even reach underneath the right leg to grab hold of the strap. And regardless of whether you have hold of a strap or not, aiming on opening the heart space towards the side, and the gaze can stay down towards the foot for balance. Beginning to release the strap and placing it back down to the side of your mat. And then finding your way back. Again, that option to come to three-legged dog. And option for a little mini back bend here. Coming to your wild thing by taking the right foot behind you and opening up through the heart space. Making your way back to a three-legged dog. And then moving through an optional Vinyasa Flow. So maybe coming through a high plank, your back bend, and then meeting at the back of the mat, downward facing dog. And then last round, you've got this. On your inhale, lift the left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee comes towards the nose, and stepping that foot between the hands as you spin down the back heel and open up the arms, your warrior two shape. And soften the shoulders here. And then breathing in, leaning forward, flipping the front palm, reversing your warrior. And then taking the left arm down, extended side angle shape. Right arm can be reaching overhead. Or maybe comes to that half bind. And then the option here is to reach again for the strap. Taking it into the right hand first. Letting the strap dangle as you maybe reach underneath the left leg. Holding the strap. Opening through the heart, through the chest. And gently releasing the strap, taking it back down. And then reaching back, three-legged dog, maybe option here to once again flip your dog into your wild thing. And returning back, three-legged downward facing dog. maybe a three-legged flow, and then coming back downward facing dog. And then pausing for a moment in your downward facing dog. Maybe a cleansing breath in through the nose, and a soft sigh out the mouth. And finding your way down to a child shape. And if you have your block or book handy, you might just take it under the forehead and take a gentle rock from side to side along the brow, giving yourself a little head massage. Making the rocks mindful and feeling into any particular spots that might need a bit of extra attention. And a few more breaths here before coming to stillness, resting the third eye. And then taking the block to the front of your mat and spinning around and coming to lay on your back. And resting the hands on the tummy for a moment. Once again, checking in with yourself. And extending through the left leg, bringing the right knee in towards the chest. Giving yourself a nice little squeeze. Keeping the toes flexed here. As you start to extend the right leg up towards the sky, maybe interlacing the hands behind the right thigh. And giving the right ankle a little roll from side to side, pointing, flexing. Before drawing that knee back in towards the chest and then taking this over into a twist. Left hand guides the right knee all the way over. Right arm can be out long, maybe the gaze turns towards the right fingertips. Maybe even directing the breath into the right side body. Feeling any sensations that may be arising in this twist. And then drawing that knee back into the middle, giving it one last little squeeze in before swapping over sides. Left knee draws in towards the chest as right leg extends long. And start to extend that left heel towards the sky, interlacing fingers behind the thigh. Maybe a little bit of movement comes through the ankle, circling, pointing, flexing. And then drawing the knee back in towards the chest before drawing it over into your twist. And taking about 2 deep breaths here. Really breathing into that left side waist. And then when you're ready, starting to draw that knee all the way back up. Settling the feet back on the floor, knees facing the sky. And then beginning to reach behind you for your block and placing it underneath your head on either the low or the middle side. And placing it almost right at the base of your skull. And you can extend the feet out nice and long, maybe hands rest on the tummy. As you once again begin to give yourself a little head massage, rocking the head from side to side. The feeling of ironing out any little crinks in the neck. Again, making this movement mindful. Maybe it starts to slow a little more as you start to wind things down in your practice. As the movement starts to slow, you can come back to the center. And gently remove the block from underneath your head completely, or maybe keeping it on the low side if you do want a little bit of support for your neck. And then coming to your Shavasana, the feet can be out long on the mat, gently flopping out to the sides. Arms out wide by the body, palms facing the ceiling. And you'll have about a minute in your Shavasana here without the sound of my voice, knowing that you have this time to rest. And then as you're ready, starting to invite some movement back into the body. Maybe that's with a little wiggle of the fingers and toes, a rock of the head from side to side, and maybe even a nice big stretch, reaching the arms overhead, pointing the toes long. And walking the feet back in towards you and taking a little roll over to your preferred side. And then finding your way up to your seated position. And taking a few moments here, acknowledging yourself, your practice. By taking one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Acknowledging your breath and yourself. Coming into the rest of your day with an open heart. Joining the hands at your heart center in Anjali Mudra. As you bow your head towards your hands. In gratitude of yourself and people around you, and the lands upon which we practice. Namaste, yogis.